All right. Hello, everybody. I believe we are live. Today we're going to be playing some Wingspan again. Fun. Just going to double check the settings here. I want to be playing slow so I can talk and play at the same time. I've won a bunch of games in a row, actually. I'm up over 400 ELO now. Hoping to eventually get up to 500, but won't be anytime soon, probably. I've played about a dozen arena games this season, which is not very many. The season's like most way through. But I'm already in the top, whatever that was, 300? Something like that, so not too bad. Let's take a look at what we got here. Alright, I see some half-decent starting cards. And we are up first. Oh, we got some great stuff going on here. Alright, so let's take a look at the setup here. We've got round 1. Eggs in platform nest birds. Birds in wetland. Cup nest eggs and grassland eggs. So these are some generically good starting birds, as are the Clark's grebe and the red-winged blackbird. I think this star nest is going to be very valuable on the Phoebe, so I'm likely to play that in my grasslands. And this star nest on the grebe is a gift as well. And we got a cheap bird for our forest, so that's not so bad. So round 1, I think should be easy to get down the grebe and the Phoebe. The grebe and the Phoebe. And that'll give us 2 stick nest eggs. Should make us pretty easily competitive on this. 4 points for this goal without giving up very much at all here in the way of efficiencies. And then birds in the wetlands. The grebe can help us find some good stuff there. Eggs and cup nests. And then what we're going to look to do is build out a grasslands engine by the end of the game. I like going into round 4, we want to have like a pretty robust wetlands engine going. Grasslands engine going, and with plenty of egg space in our grasslands. So I think the Phoebe helps with that as well. So let's do it. It's just a matter of, do I want to go for viticulturist or bird counter? Bird counter is pretty generically good, but if I'm playing the Phoebe, I only need 1 more. I think this has a higher upside and is slightly more achievable, perhaps. So we're gonna do it. For starting food, what's in the bird feeder? I guess we're gonna go keep the fish, keep the worm, keep the berry. And then are we afraid of the cowbird or the blackbird for our opponent? Not really. Right? So then we can play all 3 of these birds. I am up first, right? Yep. I'm gonna go viticulturist, see if we can get at least 3. Should be able to get at least 3, hopefully. Maybe 7 points off that. Oh, that's fun. While our opponent's thinking, let us take a look at their page. 207 player. They've played like 1,000 games of Wingspan. I need to be careful not to underestimate here. And they've discarded 2 birds, both of which are not bad starting birds, so they might have a decent hand. But we're going to take this grebe and see what happens. Ooh, okay, so Gnat Catcher comes in the tray. They're going to want that. Which does leave us with the option to... Oh, and a Toei. I gotta be careful about not being too tempted by early cheap birds. I could draw cards my first couple of actions and then find myself behind by the end of the game, but I think that Toei is really nice. I think we would love to have that in our grasslands, probably, right? As opposed to the blackbird. Toei doesn't help with any of the round goals, other than maybe the last one, but I think it's gotta be. I think this is a great bird for us right now. So we'll see. A lot of good early options coming up in the tray here, so it's gonna be interesting, excuse me, to see how this plays out. But I'm feeling pretty good at this point in the game. So sequencing-wise, what are we gonna work with here? Morning Dove in the Forest, yep, that's a great start for them. And that gives them qualification for the first round goal. I think that what we want to do is play the Phoebe. It does kind of help them with food. But if we play the Phoebe, I mean, I don't know, do we want that blackbird? I think we can get the Phoebe Toei down in the Grebe this round, and then pick up whatever good cards we have available to us at that point. So we just need to make sure we end. They take the blackbird, so that's smart. So they're going to have a lot of really good options based on the fact that they kept a lot of starting cards too. What we got to think about is how far to go with the forest here. I don't think that the Toei and Phoebe are enough to ignore the forest. Maybe this is not hatches of interest. It's just, I gotta be careful. My temptation with the early birds. My temptation to take too many good early birds and then not get enough points by the end of the game. This is pretty helpful for my opponent, I think, but to be honest, it's also helpful for me, right? No, if I play the Toei in the Grebe, I don't have an immediate use for it, so we're going to skip this action. So we're going to have plenty of options for it later. Now, I'll be curious if they go for the Cowbird. I mean, it's a lot of actions in a row. Great. So they wasted an action taking that food we would have given them, so we love that. That action could have been worth 6 points later in the game or something like that. So we can get this Toei down. And I think the play is to play the Grebe next. Draw some cards and make sure we've laid enough eggs by the end of the round to win this goal if we can. So they get Gnat Catcher. So they've got a really strong forest engine going. Fortunately for us, the late game is more egg heavy, so they're going to be looking to get more kind of bird points and bonus card points this way, unless they pivot pretty strongly. But I think we're playing a little bit better to the setup, at least at this point, than they are. Get down the Grebe. Liking how this is looking so far. But look at this, though. They're getting 3 food and an egg every time they gain food, so that's pretty dang good. At this point, we are not afraid to activate this Phoebe. So, let's draw cards. Definitely take the first one off the deck, because we're going to be able to take C3, keep 2. So we've got a Wren. We don't care about that at all. That's not something we like to see. And then this Grosbeak could be interesting for us. We can't play it in the grasslands, which would be dope, although it limits our late game scoring. But we're getting pretty much the food we need for it off of 1 grasslands action, and it will be our 3rd out of target 4 birds here. It's just a little bit slow, so we're keeping 2 cards. Not hatch. I think we're going to draw 1 more from the deck and then strongly consider the Grosbeak. Woodcock, okay. So we'll take the Grosbeak and we're going to discard the Wren. And then we'll see what we want to do with this Woodcock. I mean, it's a great card to play later. Ooh, like the Woodpecker option. That could be great for them. Could also be great for us, honestly. We just need to make sure we can get some cherries from the tray. So we'll see what they go for here. We got a hawk. So they're building out a crazy forest here. And they're going to be able to hit this end of round goal as hard as we are, so good on them. Not that it's the most important thing. You don't want to go too hard at the end of round goal, round 1, but we are going to lay ourselves some eggs. I guess this third one doesn't really matter where. And then round 2, we're going to hope to get some wetlands birds down. Yeah, I think we do want this. They've got easy access to food already, and we have a couple of birds that want to eat worms that we could get down. Alright. And we do see this waxwing in the tray, which is, I would say, of definite interest to us. Only thing of it is that that means we might want to ignore our forest a bit. I guess we could just play a grosbeak there for points later. Alright, so is this their first wetland bird? It is. So if we kind of ignored the forest here, we could pull hummingbird, waxwing. It's just that those cherries can actually be hard to come by, huh? I guess we'd really have to use the hummingbird. But again, with their great forest engine they've got going, giving away a little bit of free food to them is not bad. It's not bad, but they've got a pretty nice setup here, honestly. But we are gonna look to have a bunch of cup eggs next round. How are they looking on that goal? They've got 6 slots. We've currently got 6. So yeah, I think we kind of want hummingbird, waxwing. Do we also want the heron? How many turns would it take for us to get that down? I could grab all 3, tuck the owl, play heron, play hummingbird, have 4 actions left. I kind of want to go for it. And then that's, we just hold on to the grosbeak for points later. And then we're basically just ignoring our forest to play the grosbeak and the woodcock for points later if we still have them. Yeah, we're just going to take what we're handed here. We're going to clear this whole tray and hope it doesn't help our opponent out too much. Yeah, I love this. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to play the heron. Yep, we'll discard 1. I'm going to play the heron first and then the hummingbird. So whenever we get food from the hummingbird, we're taking them all, bud. Discard. I guess the thing I didn't consider with the waxwing, so we do reveal some pretty useful cards for our opponent. The thing I didn't think of for the waxwing is that we are going to need excess cards in order to do so, in order to tuck them for that food. I think that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the hummingbird heron combo to do it twice to get the cherries we need to get down this waxwing. And I think that's pretty much what we have time for this round. So we'll go into next round with 3 birds in the wetlands, hopefully winning this goal, if not tying it maybe. And a bunch of cup nest space. We'll have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cup nest spots. And we can do a lot of kind of laying eggs for food. And then try to get some big birds down late. Song sparrow, interesting. So they're playing a lot of early economic birds. For me, this looks a little bit late into the game to do that, but it is a lot of cup nest spots. What do we say? We had 11. They've got 6 and 5. That puts them up at 11. So we have the grosbeak in our pocket for later in the game. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I guess the grosbeak's not going down in time for this round 3 goal, so we'll see. We'll see what makes sense here, but in any case, I think we're playing the heron next, right? use this worm. So I think this has been pretty efficient so far. We're hitting pretty good timing on a lot of this stuff. We have the eggs we need to get down these birds exactly before we got to lay them again. As an example, we're scoring decently with the birds we've got, with the exception of the towhee. These are pretty efficient scoring birds in terms of how many points per food they get us. What did they just do? Pay a little more attention. They moved the song sparrow. Okay, so the sparrow's going to help on this goal. Yeah, the sparrow actually helps them with a bunch of these goals, so I guess them to the 3 foods threshold. We are going to play wetland hummingbird here. Got a rare Wednesday stream here. I've got extra time off at work, so I'm taking an hour out my day to do this today. Not enough time for Terrabisca today, but Wingspan is also good. So now what we do, we got 4 actions left. Gonna lay some eggs, pick up the food along the way because we know we'll put it to use. They just drew some cards, ignored these birds in the tray, so they're doing pretty well here. Not too tempted. They've got 2 cards in hand, so it's possible both of those play in the wetlands, but I think they're going to be struggling to catch up with us, particularly because they went first this round, so I've got 4 actions left. What we're going to do is we're going to lay eggs in order to be able to pull another card here. We want as much card draw as we can get, because we've already got cards that we like. We're seeing more cards to the grieve, so we'll be able to hold on to more good cards without having to discard one that we already like. And because the waxwing is going to require us to have a couple extra cards in hand to be able to tuck. So we're laying some eggs, and all we got to do is make sure we lay them in compass. So let's just spread them around. We'll give away some worms. Hopefully that doesn't help them too much. But I like how this is looking so far. The waxwing's a little bit low points to be playing it when I'm playing it, but I think it's good. It gives us some point generation. It's going to give us points for the tuck when we activate our Grasslands engine in the last 2 rounds. And we're going to use at least one of those cherries to max out our Viticulturist card. Well, between the waxwing and the grosbeak or something else we get, we're going to be able to convert those into bonus card points. So we're going to draw cards here. What did they do? They just pulled more cards, nothing from the tray. So let's see what we get from the deck. We might get some interesting stuff here. Right, draw cards, play waxwing. Sparrow. Rail. Rail could be of interest later. And then, yeah, I think I do want to discard because, honestly, if we have good enough cards, next turn might be the last turn we draw cards all game. Draw another one from the deck here. Owl. That could be good as well. We're getting a lot of decent cards here. So, I'm going to go first. And because I can convert this over to whatever I want, I'm going to take the worm that they might want here. I don't think it's very likely they're going to want a cherry. Do I take the fish to defend the wetlands? They can get whatever they want, but we don't need to worry about it too much. So we're taking the worm, turning it into a cherry. Let's see what they go for. Hate anyone tuning in here. Not the most popular time of day to be streaming, I realize, but I'm hoping some people at least get to enjoy the video after the fact. And this is the time that I had, so here we go. We've got like an interesting ignoring the forest game going here, and we're playing to the track pretty well. What did they go for? They thought for a while, then they took a whatchamacallit. What's easier for us to get? I guess I'll trade in this for cherry. So it's possible that we hurt them by taking a worm there. And we'll draw one more from the deck, see what we get. Magpie. I don't think we want the magpie. I think it's more likely we're going to want the sparrow than the magpie, but those are the two I'm considering discarding. Let's get rid of the magpie. I think that the owl gives us an option to have enough bowl nest spaces if we really want to go for it pretty hard there. And they're taking another turn to gain food. Let me finish that thought, excuse me. Yeah, and I think that the only benefit to that other card we had is that it's a star nest, and it's easy to put down. It could have been okay. They are hunting a little bit. Nothing to be done about it, so we're going to have... Yep, I think this is probably the last time we draw cards all game at the end of round 2, which feels pretty good, honestly. We don't have a tuck and draw, at least not yet. I think that would be our ideal right now, to pull a tuck and draw bird for our grasslands. Which means we could actually see, we could pick up more cards as they became available. Nothing yet. Discard one more. Okay, how many times am I realistically going to activate this grasslands? Let's just do it to be safe. I think this is fine. Just means we're gonna have to. Yeah, we might miss out on like 2 points this way or something overall. Yeah, let's see. Give ourselves some more looks too. Tree swallow could be interesting too. Probably not. So we're gonna go here. What did they grab last time? They took... You know, I think they're going to be flooded in food here. I think their main issue is just getting enough cards to see good stuff. So I'm not too worried about feeding them food. I'll take the cherry. And then I think what we're going to do is... So now we have what we need to play the waxwing. And I think I'm going to grab... swap foods that I can either play the sparrow or the burrowing owl next round. I think the burrowing owl is the move there. It doesn't get us as many eggs late game, but it's 2 more points directly. And it means I think we can really go wild on the cup nest eggs next round and beat our opponent. No, but our opponent doesn't even have a grassland. It's close. It's close. Let's trade one of these for... Let's play it safe, I think. I think we do want to do the burrowing owl rather than anything else, and we get the harrier. Okay. What do we definitely not want? We definitely don't want this nutcracker, right? What's that doing for us? It's potentially 5 points. I don't think we want that. So we're looking pretty good here, and we're feeling pretty good here. Our opponent is taking a lot of actions to draw cards. They're getting a tuck and draw out of it, but gearing up to get more food. I mean, maybe they have some crazy high point birds. I don't know. But how many cards do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 birds. And we think that we're going to play... Can I rearrange my birds? I guess not, huh? That's too bad. You would think you'd be able to do that. 9 birds, we're going to play maybe 3, 4 of them. Probably 4 of them. Alright. Here goes. So we're getting all the food we need from our grasslands. We're winning this end of round goal. We're feeling pretty good going into the last round. So there's the warbler, though. That's going to be great for our opponent. This is where tuck and draw would be awesome, because then I could just run my grasslands and pick up the warbler. Cass's Finch is also of interest, though. I just think that taking another turn right now to draw cards is kind of a waste. we're going to have a ton of egg space, so running this middle row is going to be for if we get 2 more birds down in the middle row. We got enough high point bird. I think we hold off. I think we resist temptation. We've got 11 turns left this game. Like 4 of them are going to be playing birds. So first things first, we're going to lay some eggs. We do want cup nest eggs. That's 3. We will tuck for a cherry. At this point, I think the grasshopper sparrow is unlikely. I guess the harrier is even less likely. I'm gonna have to be comfortable getting rid of a lot of these cards, so. And our opponent has infinite food, so I think we are just gonna take this for ourselves. We'll put it to use. The woodcock and the grosbeak are feeling pretty good right now. I think we might just go. Well, let's see. I think either way we're gonna play the burrowing owl next. Lay eggs one more time and then see where we're at. Cowbird. Well, that's certainly going to help them out. I don't think it's enough, though. I think it's a little bit late. I think they need to be playing higher point birds at this point to keep up with what we got going on. But they are going to get a bunch of eggs off of that, so, you know. So it goes. And like I said, they're sort of lacking card draw, so they've only got 4 cards in hand, and at most they're going to be able to see 2 cards, keep 1. I guess they could keep 2 when they draw. So I think their weak wetlands might be their undoing this game, but we'll see. We'll see where it all lands. Meanwhile, we've got a really nice setup going here. I'm going to probably end the game with 2, 3. Yeah, I guess maybe we go woodcock, grosbeak, and king rail. So you know what? Maybe we do have the opportunity to draw more cards here. Because every time we lay cards, every time we lay eggs, we are going to want to be tucking. So, maybe that Caston's finished hooded. Warbler looking good. All right, so they're setting some good stuff up. Oh my god, this is so many cup nests. Alright, let's get a count of the cup nest eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 slots for me. And then, gosh, 5, 8, 12, 15 for them. Alright, so if they want to really fight it, they can fight it. But I think every time we lay eggs, we're getting more points than they are, so. And we already have a decent point lead here with a strong bonus card, so. We're in a good position. I just got to think through exactly what my sequencing is here. So, what are we working with? Grosbeak, woodcock, king rail are all going to be some good kind of high point options. I think. So that's 3 plays, which means we could get 6 lays. 1, 2. We only have 3 cards to tuck. So I think drawing cards could be good here, actually. Not if it sacrifices our end of round, though. So if I draw cards, play 4 birds. That's 5 actions. That leaves us with 4 actions for laying eggs. I don't know. Maybe it's just better to... Maybe not tucking behind the waxwing is okay. I'm going to say that not tucking behind the waxwing is okay, because we're going to have a lot of egg slots here. And we're going to be getting, at most, 5 eggs a turn. So we move forwards with what we're doing here. I'm just going to lay eggs again. Spread them around. In case we get a bonus card that's relevant for. Oh yeah, so they are 2, 3. Let's see. I mean, I think even if they do challenge us for this end around, it's probably okay. Hey, what do you know? Tree swallow's probably more likely than grasshopper sparrow at this point. Just in case somehow we don't have what it takes to get the grosbeak out. I can't imagine. This is pretty neat. I think we took 0 forest actions this game. Is that true? Did I take an early? I think we took absolutely 0 forest actions this game, which is usually a pretty good sign. Yes, hummingbird heron combo is pretty neat. We only used it twice. I think we used it 3 times. So that's pretty good. So what we can do now is play the woodcock to keep getting down more cards here. Get down more eggs overall. They did just draw cards instead of laying eggs. But we do want to make sure we stay ahead of them for this end round. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they get 1 every time we play. We've got 5. 4. Yeah, so they could just beat us anyways, right? 3, 3. How much food do we need to play these birds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need 10 because the fish is not going to be something we get. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I guess maybe we just lay eggs and skip the Phoebe this time. 1, 2. No, we need the Phoebe. All right, let's lay eggs. See what they do. They might decide to not fight as hard for the end around goal, in which case we'll be glad we laid the eggs. But I think they've got us beat if they want to. And that's okay. We've got enough points coming from elsewhere. And it's possible that the king rail doesn't actually even come into play for us. I have not counted it out. At this point, tree swallow is not happening, I don't think. I think grosbeak is better. So we're getting 5 to 6 point activations here in the middle late round 3, which is always good. 9. So yeah, they're outpacing us on eggs. What did we say? There's 15 egg slots a piece to qualify for the end round goal. 3, 7, and 5 is 12. 15. 15 right now we're at 9. So we could just lay eggs and tie them. If we lay eggs 2 more times now, we certainly don't run out of space. We just got to decide at that point if we want to play the king rail. I think we're going woodcock in the grasslands and hoping that's enough for the round 4 goal. Grosbeak in the forest because it gets us 6, 10 points because of viticulturist. And then maybe we skip the king rail, huh? Laying eggs after that is just probably more points. And egg capacity 1, 2, 5 times 5, we'll say 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that makes sense. So we'll lay eggs again here. Fill up our cup nests so that we can tie them for this end around. It's a decent swing of points. Look at all them worms. So at this point, we don't need to activate our Phoebe for anything. It might not help our opponent much anyways, but tuck the sparrow. Tell you what, we're almost certainly winning the tiebreaker if it comes to it. Because we're going to have lots of food. But what we can do, the nice thing about an early Toei, or a bird like this, is that if you do build out your grasslands all the way, at the end of the game, that food effectively becomes a point every time you can lay an egg with it. It's a nice little hidden benefit. Worth 0 points, gets you a lot of points. The economy kind of pays off. Getting all these resources throughout the game and you can turn those into points, but it's nice to have that little extra way to turn those resources into points at the very end of the game as well. So they grabbed Warbler off a tuck. That's pretty nice. And we said we're just going to lay eggs to max out. They are going to have to spend... No, they'll have enough eggs this turn. 1, 2, 3. Did I miscount my eggs? We're going to lay eggs 3 more times. If I did, we'll just play the king rail. It's fine. No reason to tuck the king rail now. I can always do it on my last turn. So this Waxman was really nice for us. I think that was a good play. I think playing it... I think this was a good situation to play that bird here. They're really thinking hard about where to put that one egg. I think they've got one spot where it fits. And if they're not touching the feeder, we are going to keep getting half-decent odds. Hit this burrowing owl, which is fun. Alright, up to 55 points, and we're splitting points here. This is embarrassing. I actually don't... How exactly does the point splitting work? I should know. When I play over the board, we just play house rules that everybody gets the max number, so we don't have to do the math. So it would be 6 plus 3 divided by 2, so we'd get 4 points. Okay. We're going to have about 60 points going into round 4. Ooh, the Oriole. So they do have some big point birds they're going with here, but I think I've got them on this end of round goal. I'm going to play the woodcock right now. I think we just play woodcock, grosbeak, lay eggs, and then see where we're at. Probably just going to be laying eggs for the rest of the game. But if we're going to run out of egg slots, we can play this king rail. It'll be guaranteed 2 points. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a gamble, huh? Probably just laying eggs. Beep, beep. Here comes the woodcock. 7 points, not too bad. Just make sure I counted right here. We have 3 birds now for the viticulturist. We're going to have 4. That's good. We like that. So, yeah, we'll have 24, 5, 6, 7, 27 egg slots. 15 of them to 12 times 5. Yeah, I guess we do have kind of a inefficient endgame here, and they're just crushing these bird points. I've only got the 1 bonus card, so I'm not too afraid of them. So let's do our 10-point play here. Feels good. And we definitely want to fill up our grasslands here. Fill it up with eggs. We have the option to do 17. Oh, wow. Look at these big birds. 17 eggs. They've got 14. So we can beat them. But that's a lot of bird points they just managed there. That's pretty good. So they'll be able to just lay eggs to finish out the game. 4. They have 1 card to tuck. Okay, so they've got a couple 5-point activations. And we have a concession. I guess that's fair. I was playing pretty slow. Good game. Would have liked to finish it out, but I think my thinking time was probably not too bad. So, what would we have done if we could have kept playing here? We would have played 15, 12, 4. Yeah, so we would have laid eggs and gotten 12, 13 points, plus maybe 2 off the burrowing owl, call it 15. 72 plus 15, 87 points, plus another 7, puts us at 94. And then viticulturist here, 7 points. So we would have had a 101 if I'm not mistaken. 101, maybe 100 if the burrowing owl didn't hit very well. So, solid game. And yeah, here's the stat of the game here. Food gain from forest action, 0. We took 0 forest actions all game. How about that? Alright, folks, I think that'll do it for today. Like I said, not a terribly popular time to be streaming, but I hope some people get to enjoy the video afterwards. I will post it on YouTube. And yeah, we're up to 417. Like I said, we're looking to get to 500 eventually. We'll see how long it takes. And in the meantime, everybody has a good day. We'll see you next time.